This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Jindra Cekan. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I am wonderful. It is spring. Spring is always a great time of year.
Well, that's great. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am sitting in Prague in the middle of the Czech Republic in the middle of Europe.
Well, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Well, it's a great pleasure to connect with you. I think you're my first person that I've spoken to from Czech, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. It's a lovely country. You must come visit. Our castle's like over 1,000 years old. Wow. Most of the city is medieval. It's really, really lovely. We're very lucky.
Well, that's great. I do hope to see that with my two eyes. Until then, please do tell me which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at a specific time in history.
How lovely. You know, I work in global development, and I give talks, conference talks and so forth. So this is why I work on evaluation, and we don't really evaluate how sustainable our projects are because we don't go back after the aid goes away. So that's probably why we're connecting.
That's intriguing. Well, tell me more. Tell me more about Valuing Voices, please.
Thank you so much. I founded it about 6 years ago. I've been working in development 32 years, I'm frightened to say. I've worked on aid projects all over the world, but primarily in Africa, a bit in the Caribbean, a bit in Central America and the Balkans. And 6 years ago, I had this epiphany that while I've been writing grant proposals and getting millions of dollars of aid funded, I was consulting to USAID, the Agency for International Development, the head of monitoring and evaluation in the U.S. government. And I said, so who goes back to see what's still standing? And she said, well, no one. And I said, that's not possible. That's crazy. How could we not go back? And then it turns out that there's, lots of people are scared that nothing will be sustained. So I founded a part of my consulting work. And so we find that some things are. And I think we need to change how we do development and only fund things that are locally sustainable and change how we do all of the development work, not push millions out in ways that local countries can't sustain.
That's amazing. So I think I gather that you care a lot, right? So who did you learn that from, the ability to care for others?
Oh, isn't that lovely? I'm a Buddhist. So as a Buddhist, I believe we that your happiness is mine and mine is yours. And I've worked in villages listening to mothers, fathers, farmers, herders for, well over 25 years. So I care a lot about them. So how's it working out for you after we go? So, yeah, I think it's my Buddhist practice. And my mom was very caring. She always cared a lot. So
why will you continue to be that person who cares for others?
I'm sorry, the question was, how will I?
Why will you continue? What's intriguing? I asked that question a ton, right? And it's always intriguing. People responses are like, why will I? Why will I? With that particular question.
Yeah, I guess just this is how I came to be in this lifetime. I've always come here to be of service. I remember being young, really little, and, trying to be of service. So just like how I showed up.
That's wonderful. Jindra, I think your headsets are just touching on your T-shirt or your hair, the mic part. So you just need to hold that still right there. Wonderful.
I will.
Wonderful. So you're the person that is showing care. You've done Valuing Voices. Where's the best place for people to connect with you?
Oh, valuingvoices.com is the website I founded. And it's about changing our mindset. I'm in the middle of writing a book about this. And it's really about we're not there to be heroes to save others. We're there to support others to be their own heroes, right? That's the conclusion I've come to.
Yeah, I actually came to that conclusion this morning.
Did you? Tell me why. I want to
Well, I
hear.
was sitting, right? So I went to sleep really early last night, my time, because I've been doing this for 39 days and I needed rest, right? So I canceled all my
Oh,
previous appointments and I just went in and I got up. It was probably around 2:30 a.m. But I was sitting outside. It's a full moon here. It's beautiful, right?
yes.
And I was looking and just thinking that, it's one thing to believe you have the answer for someone and tell them and give them the answer. But there's really a beauty in understanding that you truly do not have the answer for someone and they themselves have the answer and only they have the answer.
1,000%. I cannot begin. This is why I call myself the founder and catalyst, right? All we're there to do, I think one of our higher purposes to come here to help others understand that it's their own journey, right? And to let them learn and let them, how can we help you go further on your journey? Right?
It's
We can't do
beautiful.
it for you. Yeah. I'm so excited you had that epiphany. That's like I kind of periodically remember it, then I forget it, then I remember it, then I forget it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It's very satisfying, isn't it, when
It
you can
does.
just be there and love
Yeah.
them, and love ourselves as we want to do it for them and feel we need to be the heroes. There's this brilliant thing called the Sidekick Manifesto.
I'll check it out.
Sidekickmanifesto.com, I think it is. And it's all about, we're not there to wear the cape. You know,
Yeah, I
we're
appreciate
not.
it. I'll
Every
check
one of
that
us.
out. I love that.
It's wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad. This is lovely chatting with you.
Yeah, definitely. It's amazing how synchronicity lines up, doesn't it? It's totally
It
amazing.
is. It is. It's always having faith that it's perfect. Every moment is perfect as it's unfolding.
Yes, yes. Well, tell
Right?
me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
One other. I've been a mom. I've been a
Ooh.
mom, and being a mom to teenagers is very stressful. Very stressful. It's because they're trying to figure it out, and they make stupid choices, and you say stupid things, and it's loving them in spite of all of ourselves.
I had a friend that described raising teenagers as he said they are like cars that are driving in the night without headlights.
That's it. And I have to tell you, my beloved aunt here talks about toddlers in a way that I think is appropriate to teenagers, which is maximal movement, minimal reason.
Love it.
Oh, God, that's so funny. Lovely. Oh, I'm so jealous you're in the Caribbean. Oh, I just love the Caribbean. Oh.
What island were you on when you were here?
Oh my gosh, my uncle was a priest in Grenada,
Okay.
and I've been to the Dominican Republic. My dad lived there. I've been to Puerto Rico. I brought my kids. I've been to Aruba with some friends. I've been to Haiti. I've both worked in Haiti, and I visited a dear friend there with my kids a couple of years ago. So I've been a little bit all over.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm in Trinidad, specifically just south of Grenada. So yeah, you weren't too far from us. You weren't too far at
Oh, I'm
all.
so jealous. Yes, I loved Grenada, the Spice Island.
The Spice
Just
Island,
beautiful,
Nutmeg
beautiful.
Island. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
lucky
Well,
you.
thank
What's it
you.
like in Trinidad and Tobago
It's
this early
beautiful.
morning?
Well,
Is it?
it is beautiful. It's warm, which is something I value after having my travels in the US. I understand why people appreciate the sun so much in the Caribbean. I do. It's beautiful, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Well, Yindra, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Yindra, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my gosh, my childhood memory. I think my parents woke me up for the man landing on the moon. They
Wow.
woke me up. I was like 2 or something. I don't know. I was born in 61. So, I think it was the landing on the moon. That's something I remember, bleary eyed staring at a television. Very cool, right?
Why do you
And
think it's so clear?
I think they made such a big deal out of it. They didn't really wake me up very often, so it was you have to remember this. And one of the coolest things is that my great uncle, who died at 91, told me he had actually ridden on a stagecoach. He was visiting from the Czech Republic. He was in California buying some farm machinery for his father, and he rode on a stagecoach. Like, that's the coolest thing. Imagine this, what's changed in just the span of 2 lifetimes, right? We now have robots. I mean, it's just mind boggling.
It is, it is. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today? The memory of waking up to see that man on the moon, or even to see your uncle on the stagecoach.
Yeah, I just have to tell you, I find the world fascinating, unendingly interesting. I think, the fact that I remember seeing the moon as a small child that's just amazing. It's so far away. And suddenly someone was standing on it, right? And my uncle could be on a stagecoach, and my son could be, writing code to change how people interact with their computers. And and the world. I mean, I just find technology and how we keep evolving fascinating.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created
Go
in
for
my
it.
mind with that memory? I love the concept of you being awakened at that specific time and what you do right now. And I connect it from the perspective of, while the innovation is great, the input, like as you said, governments are investing so much into sustainability and different types of projects. But I'm glad that you're the person that has again been awakened to ensure that there's sustainability in the midst of it, to ensure that there's the ability for what is needed to be measured, that it be measured. I love
Oh,
that.
you're so kind. You're so kind. I mean, I think I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm not sure I'm ensuring anything, because actually I've been a bit depressed by how rarely we go back. And I keep saying to people, look at how much you have to learn. Look at how we can do things differently and more sustainably and waste less money. And, it's a bit like Sisyphus. I feel a bit Sisyphusian.
Yeah.
But at least, listen, I'm just here to ask the questions, and maybe someone else, in, another lifetime or 100 years from now, I just have to let go of the needing to see the positive results in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? I can just ask the questions. It's okay. It's enough.
That's great. Yeah. Give yourself grace. Yeah. You're here to definitely just be in there and then get out. Yeah. Just get up.
Yeah. Do we just do our best in any given lifetime?
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh, when I was 12, oh my gosh. I'm not sure it was Let It Be, but I don't know. I just, when I was 12, that was 73. I have such a lousy memory for
Let It Be
what
is
was
pretty
happening
intriguing,
then.
though, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
it definitely connects, right?
it does. It does. Yeah. I tell you, I have spent so much of my life being purposeful and forging ahead and making things change and blah, blah, blah. And I think, I'm growing into Let It Be.
Nice,
In
nice.
my 50s, I'm finally like, no, it's okay. We can just, do the
Let it
best
be.
and hope it works out. And it's okay. We can just let things be.
But I'll add something though. It's important to understand as well. If you are to be that person who keeps forging on, then you need to let that be as well.
Engel, very wise, very wise. Yes. And to just not be like, oh, I'm not that, or I'm not that. And
Exactly.
just, in any moment, just be who you're
You are.
called to be at then, right?
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh,
think,
what a lovely fellow you are.
yeah, thank you. There's 10% of you that I've encountered. So I think 90% will tell you why you don't just let it be. But yours is actually, I need to let me be who I am. And that's very important as well.
Thanks. Yeah, I realize how much I've been the last 6 years really pushing, trying to have people see that, we really should be doing development dramatically differently. But, all I can do is ask the questions, and it's up to them in their own ripe time to see it or not. I mean, I can't make them see it, and it's like teenagers. I can't make them be reasonable. You just, keep holding steady and hope they learn from what's happening.
Agreed. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination now, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Sure.
Jindra, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Joe, interesting.
Hit me, yes or no.
No, but I will now that you brought it up.
Wonderful. Are you married?
No, I've been engaged 3 times. I have 2 kids, and it just never worked out that way. I always thought I would be.
All right, so you have 2 kids. Do you believe in God?
No, I'm a Buddhist, so I'm an anti-theist. I believe that Buddha, or the energy of love, is in everything.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, huge.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Oh, God forbid.
How about 3 hours a week?
Maybe.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, that's hard because I work on my computer for work. So it's personal time, but probably 6.
All right.
6-ish.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Try to be love manifesting in the world.
Love it. Jindra, this is such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I've just thoroughly enjoyed this. What marvelous questions you have, Engel. Thank you. So thought-provoking.
You are welcome. I appreciate it. Jindra, this has been a great pleasure.
As well.
Thank you so much for passing by.
As well. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the moon.
Thank you, Jindra Cekan. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.